Ladies and gentlemen, we are so close to the launch of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It is right around the corner, and with the game coming out, there is a lot of things to know. Different game modes, different things you can do to level up quicker within the game, and today we are going to be talking about all of those. This is going to be everything you need to know about Modern Warfare before you play it, and even if you've played in the alpha or beta, there are still some pretty big changes coming to the game, so we are also going to be talking about that in today's video. This video is just simply everything you need to know before you play Modern Warfare. So one of the biggest things you need to know is the launch time, when you can actually play the game where you are around the world, because some of these numbers are different based off of where you live. For example, if you live outside of North America, the game is going to launch for you at midnight going into the 25th. So that can be very different depending whether you're in London or Australia, and it is in your respective time based off of where you live. However, if you live in North America, once again, it's going to depend on your time zone. So the game will launch on console at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So that exact time within your time zone. However, to make it even more complicated, these times once again change if you play on PC. The PC launch times are all at the exact same time, and you can kind of see on the map here, based off of where you lived, that is when it's going to launch on PC. Now, all of these numbers that we are talking about have to do with your digital download. So these are the times if you've digitally downloaded it. However, if you actually manage to get your hands on a copy of the game is actually live now and you can play it whenever you want. However, it's going to depend on where you pre-ordered or where you're buying the game from. They might have some sort of launch party, or they might be able to give it to you at a different time. So if you did just buy it in a store, a GameStop or something, I would give them a call and check out what time they're actually able to sell you the game at. Now, on top of this, if you did digitally purchase the game, you can actually go ahead and download it now. You can pre-download it so that way it's ready for when the game actually launches, and it's a pretty damn big download. So if you're doing that, I would recommend going and starting it now, like really right now, and then come back and continue watching this video. But seriously, big ass download, do it soon. So once the game is actually launched and you have it fully downloaded, you're going to have three different options as to what you can actually play within game. The first option is campaign, something we've been lacking for over a year, and I'm pretty damn excited to play it, get my hands on it, and see what it's all about. Now, if you don't already know this, the campaign in Modern Warfare is interesting because it is based around a character that we've seen before within Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3 that came out years prior. However, the story is not connected whatsoever. It's a brand new story about Captain Price that's in a completely different universe. Basically, what we've got going on is a Call of Duty multiverse. So, yes, there may be references to previous Modern Warfare games or characters that you've seen in them, but it is not the same storyline. It is a brand new storyline. After that, the next big game mode is, of course, multiplayer, the big one for Call of Duty. And in this game, there's going to be a lot. It's going to range from 2v2 gunfight all the way up to 32v32 ground war. And as we've kind of found out through leaks and as we discussed earlier this week, it appears as though there's going to be around 20 maps at launch. And then the nice thing is that with no season pass in the game, all of the DLC will be free and it will come out on all consoles and PC at the exact same time. On top of that, at launch, there is going to be around 40 weapons within the game, which of course you unlock through leveling up. And on top of that, each of these weapons is going to have around 60 attachments per primary weapon and about 30 attachments per secondary weapon. So once again, a lot of things to unlock once the game comes out. And not only that, Activision has also announced that every weapon in the game is also going to have over 100 camos, and something new that they are adding is called missions, which are basically like multi-step challenges that upon completing, you get some sort of reward. So, like I said, a lot of things to grind for. Now, a cool thing about this is the grinding can also be involved in the third game mode, which is known as Spec Ops. Now, Spec Ops we've seen before in Modern Warfare games, but in this game, it's going to be a little bit different. There's things called operations, which basically are multi-step missions Not exactly sure how they're going to work. We haven't seen gameplay of that yet. And then the second thing is like the old school mode where you can go into an individual mission and try to get 3 stars on each one of those bad boys. Now, the cool thing about Spec Ops is that you can level up your character, level up your weapons, and I'm assuming working on camos as well within Spec Ops. So not only can you be playing multiplayer and leveling up, you can also be playing Spec Ops as well. And speaking of leveling up, Modern Warfare actually has a new way that levels are going to work. They're called officer ranks. So just like normal multiplayer, you can level up from level 1 to 55, unlocking different weapons, attachments, perks, and kill streaks. But upon hitting level 55, you then go into officer ranks. Each season is going to have 100 ranks that you can level through, get additional missions, get extra XP, and unlock various things from your weapons by leveling up. And then after a month or 2, the season will reset and you'll go back down to level 55 and have another 100 levels to go through. Now, there's another new feature this year, and if you've played the beta, you'll know about this one, and it is, of course, crossplay. This is the first year ever where Call of Duty can be played with your friends, no matter whether you're on PC, Xbox, or PS4. Now, there's a couple cool things to do with this. First of all, if you play on different consoles or you want to play on, let's say, PS4 and PC, your level is actually going to track across both platforms. So you can log in on your PS4 and be level 40, and then head over to your PC and still be that exact same level as well. On top of that, something new that's coming that we haven't seen before is they announced that they are working on some sort of cross-play chat. So if you're playing on PS4 with your friends, you can hop into a party and talk privately that way. However, as of right now, the only way you can talk cross-platform is via game chat. But they have announced that they are working on something so that you can talk in parties cross-platform. For all of my knowledge, I don't think that's ever been done, so something pretty cool coming in the future. Now, the next thing that we have to talk about and thing that we've got information on recently is microtransactions. Microtransactions are something that can be super egregious, as we've seen with Black Ops 4, but based off of the way the developers are talking about it, first of all, there's no supply drop or no RNG microtransaction system, at least at launch. They said it was going to be for the whole year, but we'll have to wait and see. They're leaning towards a more battle pass oriented system, kind of like Fortnite, where you have your regular battle pass and then a premium one you can actually buy with money. Now, they've also announced that everything that is going to be game changing, whether that's a new weapon or stat changing attachments, is going to be unlocked via gameplay. There will be no way to spend money and have better things than people throughout the game, which sounds incredible to me. And if they do stick with this system, I think I'm going to be very happy with these microtransactions throughout the year. Now, the other thing that I've seen a lot of questions about and people asking me specifically about is Battle Royale. If you've been playing Black Ops 4 for the past year and playing a lot of Blackout, you may be wondering whether or not there's going to be some sort of Battle Royale in Modern Warfare. The answer to that is no, at least not at launch. There's been a lot of rumors going around that Battle Royale will be coming to the game post-launch. We've seen rumors of dates like just after Christmas, and it's going to be free to play and an add-on on the game. As of right now, there is no actual hard proof or evidence to support that, but it's more than possible, and I would love to see it, especially if it's free to play come that time. But for that, only time will tell, and all I can tell you is no, it's not there at launch. Now, let's say you're a player who kind of knows what you're getting yourself into. Maybe you played a bunch in the beta or the alpha, and are kind of just wondering some things that they are updating going into the actual game. Well, there's a bunch. We could go on for that for probably like a half hour, but the basic big ones that you need to know is, first of all, they're working on stability fixes. So anything that you had problems with, like for example playing cyber attack, and when you get revived it's screwing with your weapons or things like that, all of those things should be fixed come the actual launch. Now, one that I found interesting is in the beta, the AK-47 kind of just sucked. They have announced that they are buffing it, they gave it some love, and I'm curious to see what that weapon's like come the actual launch. On top of that, lighting changes. So this is one complaint that I had in the beta. If you were looking through windows, sometimes it was really difficult to see enemies because it just looked too dark. And this is something they said that they've been working on. And once again, just something I'm really curious to see what they're actually working on with that and how that's going to look. Also, on top of that, under the map glitches on ground war maps, of course, there's probably going to be more found at launch, but as long as they stay on top of that, that should be fantastic. They nerfed the VTOL a little bit, aka the Harrier. It was literally killing people through roofs, so they've said that they have fixed that, but we'll have to see. And then the final one, and the biggest one to me, is spawn. So I've said it before, I'll say say it again, in the beta for Modern Warfare, we saw some of the worst spawns we've ever seen in a Call of Duty game, but the developers have said since then that they've been working on them hard, and hopefully we're going to see some much better spawns come the launch of the actual game. Now, of course, only time will tell when it comes to that, and we'll be the judge of that once the game's actually launched, but I look forward to getting my hands on it and seeing everything this game has to offer. And with that, that is pretty much it. That is everything you need to know about Modern Warfare going into launch. It's a pretty big game, and I'm looking forward to playing it. We've got lots of big videos coming up with the launch of it, and of course, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, now is when you want to make sure that you do so, because of course, with the launch of the game, there's going to be tons of news about it. So if you want to stay up to date on everything Modern Warfare, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, make sure you have notifications on, and of course, if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you could hit that like button. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
Listen.